You're a weirdo.
This right here is for Sandra. Hands down, finger up. Best show on Wednesday mornings, right?
Sure.
I don't.
There are no other shows.
Hands down, finger up. That's what ET says. So be good. Anyway, what is happening, everybody? What's up? It's Wednesday.
It is.
What's Wednesday mean?
Wednesday is our all-day virtual Boss Up and List Day. Boss Up and List is our day that we talk about our goals for the day. It is something that we hold our virtual coworker check-in day. It's listed, it's in our Boss Facebook group, which is listed right below this show. The link is below the show. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, you should be. It's a great group of people. It doesn't matter what your level of selling is. If you are brand new or if you're a seasoned seller, we welcome all levels of sellers and all platforms, although we are eBay centric because that is what we know best. We do have Amazon sellers, Posh sellers, Macari sellers, all different types of sellers in our group.
Yep.
And we basically check in on Wednesdays specifically. We check in every day, but we check in on Wednesdays specifically and talk about our goals for the day, whether it's a bunch of listing goals or you've got a bunch of photos you got to bang out or whatever it might be.
It can be anything. I mean, we focus on listing because I think overall that is probably the biggest thing most resellers struggle with is getting their listings done. I don't think for the most part nobody's really struggles with sourcing. And so if you're one of those people that struggles, you should definitely be in the Boss Facebook group because of we do daily check-ins, setting goals for daily, listing what you're able to get done. So it actually does help a lot. We've heard from a lot of people that
lots of people that keeping them accountable has helped increase their sales. Just those little couple of changes they've made. We're not trying to get you to list 50 items a day every single day like maniacs. That's not everybody's business model. It's not ours. We want you to just do the best that you can with the time that you have. And we try to give little tips that'll help you be more productive as a whole. And if you can do more, then great. If you can only do the bare minimum, then even that will help you with your store and increasing productivity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do have a sponsor that we neglect to mention almost all the time.
Look, I have it on my little list right here.
You do? See, look how smart I am.
I'm gonna. Well, let me do a screen share really quick because I'm guessing that you're thinking about this because of that post that was up today, right?
I am.
So who's our sponsor?
Our sponsor is Sizely, size.ly. They have been our sponsor since one of our very first shows over a year now. They are one of the most fantastic tools you can use as a seller if you are a clothing seller. If you sell a significant amount of clothing, you don't even have to specialize in clothing, but if you sell a significant amount of clothing, these templates make your listings look very professional. They take the guesswork out of measurements, whether your buyer is wanting to know where you're measuring the items or how you're measuring. Super easy and really affordable. There are millions and millions of different tools that you can purchase and things that you can use to help with your business. And there are varying degrees of, costs involved with all of these things. This is probably the least expensive one I've ever seen. And it's something that we use every single day.
Yeah, if you do a lot of clothing, which I pretty much only do clothing, then you're going to be using this every single day. So I definitely use this every single day. I've been using it for about 3 years now. I've been using it almost since I very first started. And so way before they started charging for it, but I think it's well worth it. And because they do charge a little bit for it, they're able to put a lot more into like different templates. But I know one of the ones that I think I'm trying to scroll, but not scroll too fast to make people like go crazy. But somebody posted today about how to measure overalls. And this is like one of those things that's really helpful because you're able to, you put in whichever ones you want to. You don't have to fill out all of them.
I do actually. On overalls, I fill in almost every one because it's one of those things that it's hard to measure.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where because let's face it, overalls are not measured like traditional pants. Your waist is not really where the waist is. And it's not really the same waist measurement that you find in a pair of jeans. It's usually bigger. The rise is different because it doesn't sit at your waist. They're just oddly shaped. Your inseam's long because the rise is really high. It's just an oddly shaped clothing item.
Yeah.
So it's excellent for something like overalls. It's excellent for dresses, jeans, especially because jeans, You know, men's jeans, okay, they vary a little bit here and there in sizing. You know, a 34 by 38 is not, you know, or whatever. 34 by 32 is not always exactly 34 by 32. It might be off by an inch or two in either direction. But for the most part, they're pretty good. Women's clothing, as any woman knows, or even anybody that sells women's clothing knows, you can have a size 12 in 10 different manufacturers, and you will have 10 different, you know, size 12 measurements. Yeah. So, you know, size 12 is not a size 12, is not a size 12.
Well, and you plug in the measurements, and then you can just upload that template as one of your pictures. And it just helps with, you know, making it really clear to your buyer exactly where it's being measured. But anyway,
what is the cost for the subscription? Let's just get right to that.
So there's a few levels. I will say that like the lowest, like there's like just the basic one, which I think is like $5 a month. But honestly, you really want the pro, which is $8 a month. That's if you're doing month to month. I think you get like a little bit of a discount if you do a whole year. It's like it goes down to like $7 a month. But you really want the pro just because the pro has all the templates.
It has everything.
It's like over 100 templates. They just added a whole bunch of kids clothing templates, like 15 of them. And so
they have it for glass, they have it for shoes. They just added a whole bunch of shoes, which I think is great because, you know, I don't generally use the one for shoes, but sometimes you're going to get questions on measurements for shoes. And I, you know,
well, for women's shoes, it's like you got the heel and like there's more, especially with women's clothing, there's a lot more information that you need. And yes, Kara, they have multiple ones for glasses, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's our long spiel because we always neglect to talk about it, although we do have our referral code is down below if you guys want to check it out.
We get a couple of bucks if you if you use our referral code. But because it's so inexpensive, it's one of those you can cancel at any time if you find that you're not using it. There's no penalty, you know, you don't get a penalty for canceling. It's not like, you know, you have to pay a whole year up front before you can cancel. There's nothing like that. There's no hidden agenda behind it. It's just something we actually use all the time. And I was reluctant to use it. Katie has been using it for, like she said, 3 years, long before they ever became a sponsor. They came to us for sponsorship, I believe. I know Katie reached out to them.
I sent them the video because here's the thing. I love Sizely. I've been using it for a long time, back when it was free. There weren't a ton of templates, and I would have to use some of them. Like I would use like the sweatshirt one because it was the most plain one for like jackets and all kinds of stuff. So that's why I was really excited when they went to a paid version, because then all of a sudden it went from like 20 templates to over 100 templates. And I thought it was awesome. And they changed it to where it would automatically put both inches and centimeters in the same picture, which they didn't have before. And that was a big deal to me because it made it so
which I think is great because I sell a lot internationally, and I don't put both. I know a lot of people do, but I don't do the conversion and bother to do that. But Sizely does it for me. So
you just check a box.
That makes it great. Because let's face it, if you sell internationally, you know, we're the only country that doesn't use the metric system. Come on, let's, you know.
But I reached out to Sizely, to Eddie at Sizely, and I was like, I love you guys. Would you be interested in being a sponsor? And they actually used the original video that I did before they were even a sponsor. I think like the second or third email you get after you sign up,
Katie's video
to my video. So anyway.
And yes, it's not an app, it's a website. It's size.ly.
The link is down below.
The link is down below, but you can, you know, just put the website on your phone as a shortcut, and you can use it on your phone if that's how you do all your listings using your phone instead of, you know, you don't need an app because it's not, you know, it doesn't really need to have any shortcuts in that way.
Yeah, but seriously, if you do close, do it because, and here's the thing, guys. This is one of those things that will put you way above other sellers because it is crazy. But if you've ever tried, let's say you have a jacket or something and the tag is ripped out or the tag is faded and you can't tell what size it is. And you know how like jackets, depending on brands, they really vary in like how the measurements are. So let's say you have like a Carhartt jacket and the tag is all worn out. You go and you look for other sellers' listings that you think it might be the same size, and you could try to look for the measurements. Good luck.
Yeah.
You'll go to like 4, 5, 6, 10 listings before you find somebody that actually shows their measurements. So it is going to put you ahead of the game to have your measurements in there, whether you use Sizely or not. If you don't use Sizely, at the very least, for the love of all that is holy in this world,
put your measurements.
Put your measurements in your description at the very least. Come on, people. What are you doing?
Yeah. So if you're having difficulty sizing vintage women's shoes, well, here's the thing. It's not going to tell you what the size is, but it is going to allow you to put size measurements in.
Right.
So Women's shoe sizes haven't changed a lot over the years. Its clothing sizes have definitely changed. So I sell with a lot of vintage shoes and clothing. If you were to just use Google and find, there are lots and lots of clothing charts in general that will give you just standard women's sizing charts. And I generally, if I have women's clothing and say it's like a vintage size 10, but it really measures as an extra small nowadays because it's something from the 60s, I will put today's measurement, because nobody is searching for a vintage size 10 that happens to be an extra small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to put the extra small in the title, and then I will put the actual measurements in the body of the listing, and then I'll put all the information down in the body of the listing and say, this is tagged as a size 10, but it's vintage sizing. It sizes as a current or modern day size extra small, and here are the detailed measurements. That's how I use that. So yeah, you can use an Android. You can use anything to use Sizely. It's a website. You're just going to be downloading templates.
Yeah.
You can download them on your phone the same as you can download on a website.
You're creating a picture. So you
It's
can
a website.
screenshot it. You can do it however works the easiest on your phone. I would love it if they had an app for it. Heartland Clothing and More says that Sizely still has a free program with living templates. Yes, they do.
They do.
It's pretty limited, but if you go over there and you still want to use our link, that would be great, just so that he knows who's coming from us. It's always great to have that information. But there is a free version that I don't remember how many it has. I think they have t-shirts and jeans. So if you're not sure and you just want to try out a couple, I mean, you might decide like, this doesn't really work for me. I don't want to take the time to do this. That's fine. But you can at least test it out.
I don't use it on everything. Full disclosure, I'm not necessarily going to use it on a t-shirt where I only have to put 2 measurements, because it does take a little bit longer, but you already have your templates the way you do your measurements.
Well, and I'm also more anal about that stuff.
I do. Okay. I do my listings from scratch every time. Yeah. So it's not always it's not always time effective for me to do it that way. But if you're somebody that does their listings the way you do, then it does make sense.
Yeah.
So quickly, I did see Amanda pop in real quick, and I just wanted to say, if you're here still, Amanda, I got your birthday gift yesterday in the mail.
Oh yeah.
So I had this up here because I wanted to say it. So it's my birthday.
Yeah, she's sneaking in from work.
It's my birthday on Saturday, and I'm old. I'm officially old. It's been a while. I've been officially old for a while, but I'm officially older on Saturday, and this is our last show before my birthday. But Amanda sent me a couple of gifts in the mail, and I just wanted to say thank you. One of them being this really cute little Pink Panther hat. So that's the name of my store, guys. It's Pink Panther.
I love it.
I have my own little logo, which is like it's a female pinup version of the Pink Panther, which is what I go by. But I think that is the cutest little thing. I will definitely wear that.
I'm just gonna take a drink out of your thing right here.
I know, my Pink Panther cup. And then I've got some bubble bath, Pink Panther bubble bath. It's really cute.
Which is great because she loves baths. She doesn't take showers. She'll say, I'm going to go take a shower, which I'm not really sure why she says that. I mean, you're adding in an extra syllable when you could just say, I'm going to take a bath. But you always say
I'm
shower.
a bath person. I've always been a bath person. The only time I take a shower is if I'm on vacation or I'm at a stranger's house.
There you go. J Span Green just busted out a $10 super chat. Super chat.
Thank you.
Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Yo.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Speaking of gifts, I don't know if I wore this or said anything about this on a show, but I did do an Instagram post. Rita from was it Scully
Star Fashions?
Scully Star Fashions sent me this a while back, this awesome Misfits t-shirt, and I did do a post about it, but I'm wearing it because I love it. I love it. You guys know how I feel about my Misfits. I also got a t-shirt, I think it was for my birthday from
Glam Babe?
No.
Oh.
From Dupage Piquet.
Oh, yes.
And that one is heavy in my rotation as well. And I always get compliments on my Misfit stuff when I wear it out in the world.
Yes. 40-something is the new 29. I'll go with that, Caitlin. Thank you.
Amanda wants to know if you saw the notes.
I did see the notes. One of them said something like the Pink Panther recommends everybody uses this. This is what he gives all of his fans or something. I did see them. I don't have them right in front of me. But yes, they did include the notes.
You know what's funny? Amanda says that she always wonders if they actually include those. It's funny because I don't get a lot of gift requests or whatever, and eBay doesn't even have that. but like on Etsy, I just had one. I shipped out one this morning. A girl ordered a T-shirt, a vintage T-shirt for her dad for Father's Day, and she paid to get priority shipping so it would get there in time. And there was a gift note, and I'd already sealed it up. And then I was like, oh wait, I wonder if there's supposed to be a note with that. And I went back and looked, and sure enough, I had to open it up again and print out the gift receipt that had a little message to her dad, saying Happy Dad's Day, and put it in there. So yeah, I mean,
that's cute.
Yeah, it was very, very cute.
Yeah, no partying. This is my first year that I'm not doing a birthday party. I generally throw myself a birthday party every year. I'm that girl. I'm a Gemini. That's what we do. But I'm not doing a birthday party. I'm just going to dinner with a couple of friends.
Yeah.
And Katie, just doing my favorite sushi restaurant.
Yeah, I asked her what she wanted, and then I was like, okay, you gotta be sure that this is what you want. I go, we can't get to your birthday and then you be sad about it. Because
no, we're going garage sailing all day on Friday, which is, well, as long as I want on Friday, which is really what I love to do anyway, which we got to do on my birthday last year.
But what are we doing on your actual birthday?
She's helping me clean the house because that is what I want.
So I had already like kind of maneuvered my schedule because Saturday's usually picture day for me. And I'd maneuvered my schedule. So the Saturday was going to be completely free. And I told her, like, whatever you want to do on Saturday, that's what we're going to do. If it's just lounge around, we'll go to the pool. Later, we're going to go get sushi. Like, it's your day. And so then today I'm out in the garage and I'm working on, my shipping stuff. And she comes and she's like, you know what I really want for my birthday? It's Wednesday, guys. You know what I really want for my birthday? And she's like, a clean house.
I want her to clean her office.
But she goes, a clean house. And I go, okay, well, it's a little late to ask for that. And she's like, well, it's Wednesday. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think you understand like how much stuff my week is jam packed and I have a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of stuff I need to get done. And also have stuff I need to do tomorrow for her birthday, stuff that she doesn't know about, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I go, listen, if you want me to, I will spend Saturday. You can lounge about and do whatever you want. And I will spend Saturday cleaning the whole house. And she was like, no, I'll help you. And I'm like, no, if you seriously, like you can just lay around. She's like, so basically she wants to help me. So that's going to be like,
I don't want to lay around the house. I just want, sometimes when you really want to deep clean the house, I know this is like TMI, but you want to deep clean the house and it just feels overwhelming because it's like, we have a big house, right? So we have a lot of crap because we sell on eBay and somebody is a little bit cluttery.
Never. The truth is though, guys, she does a really good job at like keeping the house pretty clean. Like I swear she vacuums like almost every day. And so really, if we just like make a little list of the things we want to get done, 2 hours max, we'll have it to the level that she wants.
2 people together working together. Yeah. So basically I really want her to clean her office and help me clean a couple of other rooms. And that's it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Which I'm totally down with. I was just like,
I am organized clutter. My office is organized clutter because it's inventory and stuff like that. Hers is a disorganized clutter.
I know where everything is. I know what's happening with it.
Oh, shot of tequila. Yeah, I'd be too drunk for sushi. I can't. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, honestly. I couldn't do tequila if I had to pay for it.
Yeah. All right. So for anybody who maybe doesn't watch this show regularly, our Wednesday show doesn't really have an agenda. Like we have some stuff that we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about the new eBay categories. But just so you know, this is kind of what Wednesday's show is. Like we talk about whatever we want to talk about. So sorry if it feels like, well, when you get to the point. But we just kind of do whatever. And
let's see. I just wanted to say, I want to just, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Nate Ricks just said, mentioned you on Chris Lynn. Oh, we love Chris. Chris is our friend. Yeah, of course, we're going to eBay Open. We live in Vegas, so it would be kind of silly for us to not go. But yes, we're going to eBay Open, and Lorna and Allison, Big Thrift, are 2 of our house guests that are also going to Open, and they're staying with us. And a lot of boss people are going to Open, and we actually are going to have we're going to be doing our Wednesday Boss Up and List show that we do right now from Open Live. We have a suite.
We have a suite. Well, we don't have a suite. Mo, who I haven't seen her in the comments. She's Waste Not Want Not on YouTube. Mo decided that we needed the boss group needed a suite. So like the room that she got is a whole suite. And she's just being really awesome and making it available to us to do our show. She was literally like, I'm going to rent all these chairs. Like, I don't even know.
I know. She's so cute.
She's like, I'm going to get in touch with the hotel and I'm going to rent chairs. So we're talking, I don't know. I kind of feel like we should have some sort of, we're definitely going to do like prizes. We're definitely going
we
to
are going to
talk
have some prizes. We're going to have some T-shirts. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have a couple of guests, and we're going to let you guys know what time we're going to have that. We will let you know what the suite number is. And anyone that wants to come up that is at eBay Open that wants to attend the live studio, we'll have a live studio audience.
We'll do come on down.
Yep. You're welcome to be there. There'll be a lot of standing, and there'll be a few places to sit for those of you that will need to sit. But yeah, so I anticipate that we'll probably have 20, 30 people that'll be wanting to do that. It's going to be on the Wednesday. We just don't know exactly what time because our general time that we do things at 11 a.m. is in the middle of the general session. So they just post the schedule. General session goes until 12, so we may or may not do it at that time. We may do it.
Yeah, the general sessions are kind of one of the best parts about the actual open stuff because that's where a lot of times they make announcements, big announcements and stuff like that.
Right.
You don't really want
to
miss that.
So yes, you're going to be able to, if you're at eBay Open, you'll be able to come watch the show live. You can participate.
There's Mo.
Yeah, we'll have some swag.
There's Mo.
Yep, Mo's here.
But yeah, Mo made it happen. So we really appreciate that because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to
Mo and her wife Linda are the sweetest people. I can't wait to meet them in person. I'm super excited. I'm really excited to meet a lot of you guys. But they're two people I'm super excited to meet because I feel like I already know them. And they're really sweet and generous to be doing this for us. So we're gonna have some prizes and some giveaways, and it'll be kind of like, at least for that day, or that few hours that we do the show, we'll have a little party suite. So
and Monday night is like the big kickoff, like because a lot of people are going to be coming into town. I think it's Monday night, right? So Monday night is when everybody is it in the same place? Sorry, I have all the right information for it. It's in the same place. What's up?
Monday night we're going to be at the Sky Lounge, which is in the Delano, it's attached to Mandalay Bay. It's the Delano is a smaller hotel. It's attached to Mandalay Bay. It's a rooftop bar where we're going to have like an unofficial meet and greet with lots of different YouTubers and eBay people in general. It's just like, I know Casey's going to do their Rockstar Flipper. We're going to do ours and several other people. It's just kind of like the unofficial. If you happen to be in town Monday instead of Tuesday when registration starts, come there. I think it starts at 6 or 7. And everybody's just going to have cocktails and introduce themselves. It's a lot of fun.
We'll talk about it more when we get to that point, but we just think it's nice to have everybody, all the different groups that can come to the same space, so you don't have to pick. You don't have to like make a choice over like where you're going to go. And so it's just kind of a really cool central location for everybody to be like, all right, I'm here. And it's a good time to like break the ice when, I know some of you guys are going to be nervous. Maybe it's your first time traveling by yourself or going something like this by yourself and you're a little overwhelmed. It's kind of like that. That's your opportunity to be like, oh, this is actually super awesome.
It is where you get to go and meet people and get get the nerves out of the way. Like come and have a glass of wine or a soda or an iced coffee or whatever. And just everybody in that room is going to be somebody that does what you do and is going to be feeling a little bit nervous themselves for the most part. So it's really easy to just go up and meet people that whether you know them or not, just kind of introduce yourself. And it's, if you've never done it before, I will tell you it's the best part about eBay Open is the networking, is getting to meet other sellers. That is beyond the best part. And yes, we will be talking about the things that we think you should attend at eBay Open when we get a little bit more about knowledge about the schedule. We'll talk about it. We've got several weeks leading up to it. We're going to talk about it a lot more. So
Jay Spain Green says that's really helpful. I'm pretty nervous. Seriously, come up and introduce yourself to us for sure. And there's gonna be so many other people there, and it's gonna be all these people you've interacted with.
Like we may not know who you guys are because if we've never met you, and especially if you use a fake name and you don't have a name tag on, and I don't know what you look like. I mean, I'm not necessarily gonna know who you are, and I'm not trying to sound like a jerk by saying that, but if I haven't met you, I'm not gonna know who you are. Please come and say hi to me. You can't miss the freaking hair, right? I mean, and Katie's really tall, so just come and say hello. There's nothing to feel weird about.
Nate's going to be there wearing his taco.
All right. I can't wait.
Yeah. Susan Sanders, you better be there on Monday.
And scroll up, please, because Debbie did, Miss Debbie, Uptown Bug, did give you a super chat a little bit further back, and you missed it. We were too busy chatting.
Debbie, what?
She wants you to sing it, lady.
Debbie, I got a super chat for you. Your name is Debbie. You don't make people call you Deborah, like Deborah Gibson, who's kind of weird. But you're Debbie.
That's terrible.
Thanks for the super chat, Deb.
I'm sorry.
You made that happen. I would like to point out Susie Beach says that she's definitely not one of the sweetest people we've ever met. We haven't met you yet, but
that's okay. Neither am I. We'll get along.
From my interactions with you online, there might be a reason I call you Susie Biatch. No, I'm excited to meet Susie. Susie, who is responsible for naming Teresa T Money. So yeah, so it's gonna be fun. Anyway, see, Debbie liked her song. She liked it. And Susie likes to be insulted. So there you go. There you go.
That's okay. Susie, we're going to get along just fine because I'm not sweet and nice. So Katie's the nice one.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Angie's here. I know. Long time no see.
What?
Where you been?
Susie's a rapper. What? We'll put that to the test. Okay, so a couple things that we wanted to talk about. Another thing is anytime we have a show, guys, listen, we're open to questions. We like answering people's questions. We want to help people out, especially people who are new, or if there's just something that you're stuck on. But there is one thing we need to address, and that is shipping questions. We know that shipping is complicated. We know that shipping is one of the harder things to kind of master with this. But to be honest, it gets to a point where we are covering the same stuff every show, 10, 15 minutes, because of how long I go on. And for some people, it gets to be super repetitive. It gets to be repetitive for us. We totally get it. I want people to understand shipping, and it's a weird thing to be passionate about, but I am kind of passionate, I guess, about like helping people figure out how to bring their costs down when it comes to shipping through doing international shipping, doing cubic and all that stuff. But there comes a point when we've covered it, and we can't keep going over the same stuff over and over again. So what I did today when I set up this show, and this is going to be included in every video going forward, there is a section. If you go to the description of this video and you have to click the little thing that says show more, and you open it up and go all the way to the bottom, there is a whole list of links to past videos where we cover doing your own international shipping, using Pirate Ship and their simple export rate to do your own international shipping and save lots of money on first class international labels. We cover cubic shipping. We cover the dim weight shipping that we covered like last week or the week before.
2 weeks ago.
Yep. There's also a show in there where we just cover overall shipping. There's me showing how to set up your international shipping in business policies. So all that information is there. There's also a link to the Pirate Ship rate page, which is great for learning shipping and seeing what different costs are depending on where they go. It's a really good calculator. I recommend it over eBay because it covers cubic, which eBay does not. So I have that in there. So all those things are down there. So if you guys have questions about anything that we think can be covered down there in the future, I know not everyone's going to see this little spiel. We're just going to tell people, hey, we see your question. Check the links below. If you have a question and we're like, wow, that's something we've never talked about before, then we'll address it. But otherwise, we're going to tell you guys, check the links below, watch the videos below. If you still have questions, you can send us a message or something. But we're going to try to minimize how much time we're spending on every show talking about the same things.
Because what it does is we have a lot of regular viewers, and many of them do understand it. Or it doesn't apply to them, and it's just causing them to tune out because they've heard it so many times, and it's causing us to sound like we're just being super repetitive. And I don't mind repeating myself, and I don't mind teaching as much as possible, and neither does Katie, but we really want to give you the best information when we do take the time to do the shows with you guys. So if it's already been covered ad nauseum, we really want you to just take the time to look at the shows that it's been covered on, and maybe you need to watch them more than once. And then if you've watched them a few times and you still have specific questions, then reach out to one of us, and we'll be happy to help you. Ask your question in the Boss Facebook group. There are lots of people in there that understand the process and can help.
And then maybe post to the Boss Facebook group, say, hey, I've watched all the videos, but I'm still not understanding XYZ, whatever. And then people will definitely help you.
Let's see, keep it at Beachy. Etsy shipping, there's no difference between shipping for Etsy or eBay or any other platform. I would take my items and ship them on Pirate Ship because there's no reason to ship using Etsy's platform. It's not user friendly.
Pirate Ship, you could just
you get your discount, and you get a discount on Pirate Ship. You just link it out. So
yeah, for sure.
Angie, you're the only one that's blurry, so just hit refresh, honey.
Yeah. DJ says, I feel bad when I sell something internationally. When, for example, I sell a shirt for 27, they pay 14 for shipping, and I pay $10 on pirate ship. Okay, so there's a couple of things. I mean, you could charge flat rates for your shipping, but honestly, I think the part, not to get into this stuff, but part of that discount for me, I don't pass that discount on to my buyers, because I am usually I do best offers, and I will take a lower offer for international stuff, so it covers that for me. There is a small amount of added risk to shipping internationally. It's not a lot, but there is a small amount, and so I think that that is a fair compensation for that. And I think as long as you're charging fair rates and you're not charging more than retail rates, then that's okay. If there's a significant difference, I don't think that difference you should feel bad about. Consider it a handling fee. If there's
it's not a surprise.
difference,
they've already agreed to pay it when they agree to the amount. So personally, I don't feel bad about that, especially because, and as Katie said, I do free shipping domestically on a lot of my items where I'm losing money every time. So if I make a little bit on on an international order, first class international order, I feel like it helps even out just a little bit.
Yeah. John, any idea what pirate ship is going to have the same priority rates? As eBay, I don't know, because I don't even know like why eBay has lower rates. I don't know if they say that they negotiate lower rates, but I know that's probably not a reality. I really don't know. I wish they used to be the same, and I wish they were still, because I was totally ready this year to completely go through pirate ship for all my shipping so that I can have all of that data.
See, I don't, because I do multi orders. I until or if pirate ship A has the same rates for all priority shipping, and B has multi order shipping down, I wouldn't be using them for everything, just because of the ease. Because if I'm shipping 30 packages at once, I don't want to have to do 30 individual packages on pirate ship. That's a pain in the ass. So I still use them for Cubic. I still use them for Etsy orders, and I still use them for first class international, because that is best for all of those three things. For everything else, I still use eBay.
Nate, why aren't you shipping to Russia? Come on. I ship to Russia all the time. I just sent a t-shirt to Russia today. And let me tell you, eBay won't even let you print out a label. You have to go to the post office. You know what I did? Pirate ship. Put insurance on it. I was covered. They were getting their cool t-shirt, and I got paid lots of money for it. So, Susie said,
"Ooh, Angie got a new with tag St. John dress from the bins, and the tag reads $995. She was jaw dropping. I'm jaw dropping. That sounds awesome.
That is awesome." Susie said she's been selling overseas like crazy. Thanks for the hookup. She sold a sweater to Ireland. Doesn't get much better than that. I've been thinking like I really should, because that's part of the fun too about doing your own international shipping. And here we are talking about shipping. So I feel like we're getting into different parts of it. I think it's way more fun to be able to ship to other countries than just print a label to Kentucky. I've kind of thought about, it would be cool to have get a big map.
I did that my first few years that I was selling on eBay.
Yeah, I put like a little pin in each new country.
I've literally sold to almost every single country in the world now.
My favorite though is when you get an order and you go to put the label and you're like, I didn't even know that country existed.
I've done that a couple times too. Yeah. So there used to be a program. I don't think it exists anymore, but those of you that might be old eBayers may remember this. But there used to be a program that you could attach to your listings on eBay that would give you a map on the bottom of your program, and it would tell you where your listings went. It didn't cost anything, but it used to just, I don't know what, it probably just collected your data. It was some sort of data searching tool, but who cares? But it used to tell you where your items went. So it used to light up on a map and tell you where everything went. So anyway.
That's cool. Enrique says, would you pick up hand knit shirts, sweaters from South America, Ecuador, Peru, Aztec looking? I would. Yeah. Maybe not the shirt. I mean, sweaters for sure. If they look really cool. I mean, those handmade ones that are like from Peru or from like Nepal or ones, where they're made with, they're really cool. Yeah, they sell really well. And that's a case where it's not about a brand. It's about what it's made of and where it comes from and what it looks like.
Yeah, Lorna said she had that map. It was free and fun to see where you shipped to. And I used to have one of those big school pull down maps I'd picked up at an auction.
That's funny.
years ago when I first started on eBay. I had it hanging in my basement, and I used to put push pins in it. And then it finally got to be I had too many push pins because at first when I started, I had no idea I was going to ship, all these places. So it was kind of cool.
Were you putting them just in the new country, or every time you shipped to that country too?
At first, it was every time I shipped.
Yeah, because I was thinking like if I did it, it would just be like Russia would get one pin in it, and then that was it. Because otherwise Australia, Russia, and Canada and UK would be like jam-packed because I shipped to those guys all the time. But yeah, Susie says makes me feel like I was traveling. Seriously, I was able to finally get my uncle to do his, because he sells on eBay, not a ton, but he does Hawaiian shirts, and he usually only ever has like 250 in his inventory. But I got him to do his own international shipping, and if he can do it, anybody can. And he loves it. He gets so excited
when he sells to another country.
Yeah, because for him it's like a little adventure, and
yeah,
so it's just really fun.
Somebody asked, how do you Armando, I have Russia excluded as well. How do you remove the exclusion from your listings? I don't know how to remove it. I think you have to do a bulk edit, but in some way, I basically just I have no exclusions, and Katie has no exclusions, so I don't know how to.
You might want to call. I think it's a little tricky because it's like I have my business policies and I have it's worldwide, no exclusions. But I think that there's, I don't know. So some of that stuff, it's like the mixture of like the old eBay and the new eBay, and there's settings that are back deeper in that you can't get to if you don't or it's hard to find. So sometimes it can be a little squirrely.
Angie asked, when is eBay open? I believe it is Tuesday the 23rd of July through Thursday the 25th. And most people, and Thursday it ends with a big party Thursday night. So most people that are coming in Monday through Friday. And I think both Lorna and Allison are here Monday through the weekend with us.
Yeah. Let's see. So one of the reasons why I can't just jump in and do some cleaning of the house is because guess what I'm working on this week?
Taxes.
Do I look like I'm having a hard time?
It's what you get. It's what you get when you wait 3 years.
Whatever. There's people who cry every year.
Oh, I do.
Okay, every year. Okay. Anyway, I am working on. I will say though, guys. So if you guys watched our show, I don't know. It's been a few months now. The show that we had with Mark II from Not Your Dad CPA. We had him on here. So I did go ahead and hire him. And first of all, I would like to say his rates are very, very, very reasonable for what he's able to do for you. And what's awesome is that he is also an eBay seller, an online seller, reseller. And so I think he does Amazon stuff too. So he not only is he a CPA, but he knows exactly what's going on when it comes to online selling. And not to say that there's anything easy about the process, but he makes it about as easy as you possibly can. He has this awesome spreadsheet. It's like you get this, you get an Excel spreadsheet file, and it's for the year that you're working on. So let's say you're working on 2018 taxes, and it's got all the different tabs on it, all the different sheets. And you basically go through this thing sheet by sheet, and you just enter in all the information, and he has it all laid out. So basically when you finish filling it out and you send it to him, then he just, I'm sure he's got like a really streamlined way that he does them.
Yeah.
And that's probably why he's able to do it at such an affordable rate. So seriously, guys, and
it happens.
Yeah,
it happens. So I still haven't done my taxes for last year, but I did file an extension, so mine aren't due until October. But I do the same thing. I'm a procrastinator, so I'll be doing my taxes in September that are due in October. I'll be doing all my paperwork. I'll take a full weekend, and it'll take me probably 6 or 8 hours, and I will do everything all in one fell swoop. Now, should I be doing and reconciling everything weekly or daily, like some people do? Sure. Everybody has to find whatever groove works for them. And there are plenty of people that get behind. It is what it is. But there are a couple questions in there I just want to answer. Sunny asked us, the pirate ship print out international labels so you don't have to fill out extra forms.
Watch the videos down below.
It does print it out.
And it'll tell
you. DJ, do you guys get refunds? No, nobody would get it. We don't get a refund because you don't pay in. So you only get a refund if you are an employee that has taxes withheld from your.
I guess if you're one of those people who sends money to them every quarter, and you estimate it, And then I guess possibly there'd be a chance, but most likely no, because we're not like working for another company that's taking the money out.
Yeah, no,
I always
pay. I've been self-employed for 15 years. I've been paying taxes for 15 years.
Yeah.
I pay in quarterly. I do an estimate that I pay in quarterly, and sometimes I overpay, but usually I underpay. Yeah. So I always end up owing.
But I'm telling you guys, if you are behind and you've been putting off finding somebody, I'm telling you, look up Not Your Dad's CPA, Mark II. He really seriously is super affordable for what he's doing for you. Honestly, it's very, very affordable per year.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen our video, go back and find the video with him, because he was excellent answering questions.
Yeah.
But I've never used the global shipping program, Sunny. It didn't exist when I started on eBay. I don't know anything about it. I've been selling internationally since I had to handwrite my labels at the post office in person.
I was in the global shipping program for a week when I first started, and then I was like, what am I doing? I can figure this out. And I switched, and it was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So I completely understand when you first get into it how overwhelming it seems, but it's all facade. But seriously, let me wrap up the whole taxes thing, because what I'm trying to tell people is, if you have been putting it off like I have, and you're nervous about it, seriously look up Not Your Dad's CPA, because he makes it as straightforward as he possibly can.
And he'll make you feel better about it.
He makes you feel better about it. And it seriously is, I'm glad I'm finally doing it. I'm glad I have him to help me out. So yeah, definitely do that.
Okay, somebody asked a question about how do you account for garage sale purchases. So Armando, I keep track. I don't know if you do, or it depends on the person, but as far as garage sale purchases, I keep a log. You know how you keep a mileage log, or you should be keeping a mileage log? Some people handwrite it, some people use a program on their phone, some people use an app on their phone. Whatever you do, I keep a little notebook usually for garage sales. Generally I will I haven't done it this way in a while, but I used to print out my garage sales every weekend. So I would print out my list of all the garage sales that I was going to. Sometimes it was 20 or 30 garage sales. And right there, because I printed it out, I would have my mileage for that day, first of all. And I would just handwrite next to the address how much I spent. That's acceptable for the IRS. If they were ever to call into question those numbers. It's never happened to me, but that's acceptable. So you just need to keep a log. Some sort of log is acceptable. I mean, if you're saying that your purchase, you spent $3,000 at a garage sale every Saturday for 12 months, that's a bit excessive. I don't think that that's going to be acceptable. Somebody's going to want to see something, but if you're putting acceptable amounts and you're keeping a log in some way, and it's a consistent log, that's all you need to do. The same way you're logging your mileage, you need to log things like, Craigslist purchases, cash purchases. You just need to keep a log.
Mm-hmm. You just said log like 20 times.
I know I did. I'm sorry.
So now that we're towards the end of our show, you want to talk about what we have, what we said we were going to talk about real quick? Categories?
Sure.
So we didn't do like a whole show or anything like this about this, but they, every time they do like a new update, a new seller update, there's usually changes in categories and stuff like that. It's pretty typical. This is typical of like any platform you're gonna be selling on. There's gonna be changes. They're gonna like adjust how they categorize things, and eBay loves changing categories. So it is something you need to pay attention to and see if it's going to affect you. I don't think that this new one is affecting me at all. But they have changed a lot of categories. And one of the reasons why, it's important to pay attention is because it's all automated. And so they'll try to do their best to put your stuff in the right categories. But guess what? Doesn't always work out. And what ends up happening is they're also doing things like adding like a bunch of item specifics. And so maybe your thing goes in the right category, but it's like all the item specifics are wrong. And the thing about item specifics is that's kind of how you get your stuff higher in the search. You want to have those item specifics filled out as completely as possible. You want it to be accurate because people do a search, and even if a word isn't in your title or in your description, let's say they look for a blue t-shirt, it's going to draw from your item specifics if you chose blue in that little drop down, and it's going to come up in the search along with all the other blue t-shirts. Or if they want to do a search of t-shirts and then they say, oh, I want to filter this down to blue t-shirts, they'll click on blue, and then it's only going to show the ones where that item specific has been filled out. So it is important, right? So I know a big one that changed is books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Have you had a chance to look at yours?
I haven't, and I use item specifics on every item, but I do sell some books. I think I probably have about 60 or 75 listings for books. You know, if you wanted to look in my store, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, I know. So Barbara's the one that kind of brought this to our attention because I think it all went into effect like a couple of days ago,
The
like on the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And so she sells a lot of books, and books are a big thing to change.
And Kara Cooper's having some issues. She sells picture frames, and picture frames apparently have a ton of item specifics, which is weird because they're picture frames.
Yeah.
I mean,
and listen,
how much can you say about them?
We'll say, listen, you need to fill out as many item specifics as you can, but there's certainly like ones where I just ignore them because you can also just use common sense and be like, okay, what are things people are actually going to search for when it comes to, for instance, picture frames? So you want to pay attention to that. But anyway, I know Barbara, she does a lot of books and a lot of like cookbooks. There's no more cookbooks category. It like got moved over to nonfiction and like cookery or something like that.
Food and beverage or something like that.
And then all the item specifics were different. And so far, there's only been 2 books that she hasn't had to go in and make changes to. So she was kind enough to send us a link. And we actually have the link down below to be able to look at what all the different categories are. So I'll do a screen share really quick. So you can see right here, these are the categories that have changed. And so it's showing like, you know, like owner's manuals. These are being moved into nonfiction.
Oh, as of today, that's why people are having issues on eBay today.
Yeah. So you can see like there's all these different types of books. Agriculture is being moved into catalogs. I don't know what that is. Catalogs.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, catalogs. And so
children's books, there's a problem with children's books, young adult fiction, nonfiction.
Yeah, so these are all books that are being moved. So cookbooks, all listings are being moved into nonfiction. And so all these books are getting moved over. And so you just want to be aware, even if like Lorna says she just basically deals with it. She has so many listings that whenever categories change, she just deals with it when she does her relisting.
Yeah, I have every single book I have is going to be affected by these changes. That's what I'm just looking at. I haven't looked at them.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is, now I haven't had to deal with this, but here's one thing you could do to kind of like quickly check. So here's LV Pink Panther. Now, instead of going to a store, because like if I go visit Vicky's store, all of these categories, these are the ones that she created. She made these using her store categories.
Right, but if you click on books and magazines, it'll tell you how many I have. It's a lot.
I understand, but hear me out here for a second, guys. These are categories she created. So you're not going to directly see changes. So what I would suggest is if you go to your own profile, see right here, and instead of clicking on your store, you go and look at items for sale right here. This is going to show you, now these categories are the eBay categories. And so we're going to go down and look at all the categories. And we're going to go down and see books. So these are all the ones that she has that are books.
Oh, that's right. I said 60. I have 58. That's pretty darn close.
Yeah, so she's got 58. So that's not a lot though, because I mean, compared to some people. So 58 is doable for if you wanted to go through one by one and actually check them. But this is where you would be able, like, it sounds like a lot of children's ones got changed. So yeah, so yours are pretty easy. Like you could go in and see, I don't know, do you want to look at one of these?
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess it won't help if we're not in your actual store. But yeah, so you can see, Susie, would you trust a fictional cookbook? But this is just an easy way to see, like, you know, if your books are at least in the right categories.
Well, and I have far more than 4 children's books. Well, so that's all that's coming up on eBay.
Is it? Yeah, I guess that is all that's coming up. I don't know. So there's your question. What's going on there? So you might want to go check it out.
Yeah, apparently I got to go do more crap today too.
Yeah, but I'll stop the screen share. But anyway, we're just basically, we're not going to do a whole, like, how you do anything because, like I said.
And those aren't even books. Those are cassette tapes. What the hell are they doing in the book category?
Because it's a read along. But anyway, like I said, none of these changes have affected me, but they have affected Vicky. So the bottom line is, you need to, if this is your business, these are things that you need to pay attention to.
Well, there are other categories too. It's not just books.
Yeah, I know, but they're not. None of it's. I don't think any of it's in clothing, which is pretty much all I sell.
No, it's home goods. It's books. It's lots of different things. So
yes.
I don't mean just for you. It's not just about you.
No, I know that, but it's the link below. I put the link below, guys. That's my point. Is it hasn't affected me, so I can't. that's pretty much the most I can share with you. Vicky hasn't gone in and started looking through this, so there's not really a whole lot we can do other than say, click on that link below, make sure that none of the categories apply to anything that you sell. If it does apply to you, you might want to go check and make sure that there's nothing drastically different or wrong.
So where the heck are they going to be if they're not in the right categories?
I have no idea.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I don't know. Maybe they got, for some reason, they got put in other, yeah, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Point is, pay attention, guys.
Great.
There's always going to be stuff that comes up.
It'll be fun. Good times.
Good times. Good times. Anyway, anybody have any other questions? Hip flipping mama strolling on in the last few minutes.
Hopping on in.
What? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, so if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and ask us. Yeah, there's always going to be changes to how they sort stuff, and it's always going to affect people's listings. So the best thing you can do is just pay attention and make sure that it's not anything that's going to cause a big issue. I mean, I know it's affected me in the past with they'll change categories, and then they change, like, you know, the drop down for, like, when you're looking at men's jackets, coats and jackets, and there's a drop down item specifics of like type. They used to have more in there.
They used to have like basic jacket and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they also used to have ones that just made more sense. And now it's like they took some of the more common ones away and they put in ones that, like, I'm like, who even looks for a jacket like that? It's like, I don't know, like a car coat. Like, how many people? Yeah, and I know it's a common thing, like, for vintage, but I don't know. They took away ones. I still put in basic jacket because there's some jackets that's like they don't really fit into any of the categories that they put in there now, as far as item specifics, and it's frustrating because it's like, why would you take away options? But whatever.
Angie, I don't know how much you should list that dress for. If you want to shoot me a picture of it or a couple pictures, it depends on what the style is. I mean, I know it says $9.95 was the retail price, but that doesn't. It depends on what the style, the size. Have you found any, you know, comps that look similar to it? It depends on what type of St. John is it. Is it like St. John Evening? Is it St. John by Marie Gray? Is it St. John Sport? They all have come into play whether what the resale value is on them.
Yeah. So Kara had asked earlier about she heard at her post office, or Mike heard at the post office, that they're no longer going to accept DVDs as media mail. I hadn't heard that. I don't know. I would probably want to verify that, because you can never trust what one person says, even if they work for the post office, because contrary to popular belief, just because you work there doesn't mean you know everything.
I would look on USPS.com. I hadn't heard anything like that.
I mean, it might be true, but I don't know.
Honestly, if you're only shipping one DVD, it's better to ship it first class anyway, because it's cheaper than media mail, because it's usually only 4 to 5 ounces in a padded mailer. So unless you're selling multiples, or you're that won't really affect you, but I would double check that for sure. Hey, Thrifty Santa. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
6 weeks until eBay opens. Yay. Can't wait
it's
to
like
see
eBay
everybody.
Christmas.
I know.
Yeah, Christina says when they changed mid-rise on women's jeans, it was a lot of work for her. Yeah.
I agree. That one was one that I was able to go in and bulk edit, though. That was a little bit easier. So yeah,
I'm telling you, there's always going to be stuff that's going to come up that you're going to have to make changes on. But yep, more shipping troubles as per usual.
Yeah, you know, anytime they change this, DJ, can you send them first class? Or do you have to?
You do not have to.
You don't have to send anything media mail, honey. You can send anything. You know, media mail is, you can only send certain things through media mail, but there's no restriction on what you can send first class or priority or whatever, unless it's like flammable stuff.
Why is there a media mail thing? Why does that even exist? Is it just
well,
I
mean, I mean, I thank God it exists.
Well, I'm
because
sure,
if you send bulk heavy boxes of books, you want to be able to be paying $20 versus $800 and wait.
Is that just like an educational thing? Like,
is
it just like to promote shipping educational stuff? Because I know, like, for instance, you can't send anything if it has advertising in it, right? I don't know. I'm just curious. But yeah, I guess just to make it so it's not.
Kara said they said it's because movies are advertised for other movies. Yeah, maybe.
interesting. Like
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is cheaper for it to be media. You're right. Generally, I mean, I don't sell a lot of DVDs because there aren't a lot that are worth selling. But you know, individually, there are very few.
But if you're somebody who your whole store is selling DVDs, which there's some people that's all they do. I mean, that adds a lot of cost if you're gonna all of a sudden not be able to use that anymore, even if it's just a few cents here and there. It adds up.
A vintage Tommy Hilfiger T-shirt with the flag logo. What would you price it at?
It depends.
It depends on what it depends on what it looks like. But for the most part, you know, vintage Tommy Hilfiger shirts, flag or not, are not selling for a ton. As far as a T-shirt, that'd be like a $30 T-shirt probably, in my opinion, unless it's something fantastic.
It depends on what the flag logo, what you mean by that. I have to see it. If it's
is it just a little one, then it's like
thing?
If it's a little one, it's like $20.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like a big flag across the chest or across the back, it's something Tommy spelled out, then maybe 30 or 40.
Yeah,
but
$10,000, Sonny says, or not 10,000, $100,000, basically. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to do today. What are you doing?
Well, let's see. I just put away all my stuff that was listed. I have to, and I vacuumed. You're talking about me vacuuming
every day. Almost every day, 5 days a week, probably.
Listen, we have dogs. What else? I'm going to list 10 things. Then I have to go get a manicure. I didn't get a manicure yesterday. My nails are rough. I need a manicure. And then I think I'm going to go source a little bit.
All right. She's going to do some sourcing without me, you guys. What's up with that?
John, our emails are down below. You can send Katie an email of the shirt.
Yeah.
And she'll let you know. Tommy Hilfiger is definitely saturated. It's not, you know, exactly.
There's a lot of really basic stuff.
If it's something real basic, you're not going to get a lot of money for it. It's going to sit for a bit. Mm. It's also nowhere near as popular as it was a year ago. It has definitely started to come down. So unless it's something like a fantastic spelled out logo in great colors, $20 or $30 is my guess without seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you send it, John, we'll be able to let you know. Yeah, for sure. Media mail is shipped whenever there's empty space in the truck, so there's no guaranteed delivery time. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how like the whole express or priority or whatever works. You know, basically it really is about prioritizing, and so media mail is kind of put at the bottom of the list, so it can take longer. But speaking of priority and stuff, guys. So in my Etsy store, by the way, I have over 1,200 listings now on Etsy.
Wow, I'm under 1,000 now.
I feel pretty good about it. So I'm over 1,200. So I don't ever do sales on Etsy, but because my sales had been kind of slower this last weekend, last couple of weeks really, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a sale and see what happens. And so I went in and I started a 10% off sale. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, it shook loose some sales. Like that first night, it was like night before last, I sold one that first night for like $70. And then yesterday I sold 3 things. I think I made like $160 yesterday because people were buying. And what was crazy, so yesterday I sold 3 things. One item was the item that the girl bought a vintage t-shirt for her dad and wanted me to send it priority. So she paid an extra like $8 for priority. The other one was a t-shirt somebody ordered to be sent to California, and they paid $30 extra to have it sent express. So that's like the one day shipping.
Crazy.
$30. Like, because the nice thing about Etsy is when you set up your shipping on there, it like you don't have to add additional ways to ship. It's like they automatically, I don't even remember how I set them up, so I can't help you guys, but it automatically, like I do free shipping for free like basic shipping or whatever it is, but they can pay to upgrade, do priority or express. And so I was like, what? $30? What? I felt pretty good about it.
All right.
What?
Weirdo.
Anyway, all right, we're just about out of time, guys. We need to get to work. I think Dana's going to be here any second. The dogs are going to start going nuts.
My second day of photographs today.
We have trained the dogs very well to not yelp and cry and whimper and bark when we come home. We basically, if you have an issue with this, what you do is you completely ignore them. So we come in the house, we ignore them while they yelp and cry, and what it does, hold on a second. What it does is they shut up pretty quickly because they find out that they have to be quiet before they get any attention. Well, when Dana comes, it doesn't work that way. But Corey, my favorite Corey, 111-815-999 super chat. Corey, I'm not going to sing you a song for your super chat. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about that beautiful baby.
This is why Corey's been MIA.
Beautiful baby that your Corey is your wife.
I think so.
Married?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Corey's a new dad. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. I couldn't tell in the photo. I'm sorry, Corey. But it looks like a little boy, I think. Little boy, baby boy. This chubby cheeked, like I just want to like smush the little face.
Listen, we've been privately, not so privately.
There's been a lot of talking. They're sucking the baby.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Privately, not so privately. There's been a lot of talk from this one. She's been talking a lot lately about ugly babies. Some people have ugly babies. I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. Do you guys remember that Seinfeld episode where they were like, when you see somebody's baby and you go,
that's a baby.
You go, that's some baby. But Corey's baby is freaking adorable.
Little boy. He's just the cutest thing.
Yeah. So Corey, for your super chat, we're just going to talk about how cute your son is. He's adorable. Congrats. And you know what's crazy? Sunday is Father's Day. Here comes the dogs barking.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, happy Father's Day. Just saying. Happy
first Father's Day.
Happy first Father's Day to you. Huge congratulations. Your life has made a humongous change, and we're super excited for you. And I'm glad that nobody's going to have to say, that's some baby. They're just going to say, your baby is freaking adorable.
Listen, we've been talking about it, Sandra. You're right. I have a friend that just had a baby, and the reason we've been talking about this a lot is because they had a really freaking ugly baby. And it's you know, they don't watch the show, so I don't know. I'm not even going to say the name. It doesn't matter. But, you know, it's an unfortunately unattractive child. I'm hoping it catches up at some point because their other children are.
She's a baby shamer, you
guys.
She won't shut up about it. It's really affected her deep inside.
The other children are cute. It's a really unattractive baby, and I every time she posts a picture, I'm kind of like, oh God, again with
rude, so rude. Let's hope she never watches. Anyway, guys. Sandra has.
It might be Sandra. I'm gonna message you a photo of this baby. I'm gonna tell you.
You know what? Some babies. Listen, a lot of babies. They have a rough time at the beginning. Listen, I've had my own awkward years. I think I turned out okay. I think I turned out all right.
I'm sure the baby's gonna outgrow it. I'm sure the baby's gonna. Their other children are adorable. But it's an unfortunate looking infant. So, you know, some babies, they're like plucked chickens. You know what it's like. Some babies just, you know.
Anyway, guys, we love you. Thanks for watching. Congrats again, Corey. Happy first Father's Day to you. And to the rest of you guys, make sure you got it. If you haven't sent your dad a present, at least have it in your little calendar. Give him a call. Whatever you do for Father's Day. I don't know.
I was born on Father's Day. So, you know, every 7 years, I am the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you.
Thanks for the birthday wishes.
We will see you on Sunday. Bye.